that was the dunk from Jaylen Brown in the second quarter that gave the Celtics the lead after they trailed 17-4 out of the gate, and then took an 18-point lead in the second half before the Knicks made it a little bit interesting. Celtics get the win 123-117. They're 12-9 now on the year. 3 games over 500 for the first time this season. Tom Giles, Chris Forsberg, Eddie House, your thoughts on the Celtics, their ability to hang on there in the second half?
I mean, it was a little dicey there at the end, but I thought this was a total team victory. You got to think about what Ugo came in and was able to do in the second quarter to change the tide for the team. Anthony Simons came in and played well, hit some big buckets. Peyton Pritchard hit a couple shots. Sam Hauser came in and knocked down shots. We know what Jaylen Brown's going to do. We've been asking for everybody else to step up. And, I mean, Jordan Walsh, how fantastic was he in the fourth quarter? That drive from the left side, hanging and scoring that, then getting a couple of offensive rebounds and the putbacks right there. They were timely, exactly when we needed them. I just thought this was a total team victory with Jaylen Brown leading the way.
Yeah, I think Eddie nailed it, right? Like, they don't kind of turn this game's momentum without JB did in the second quarter and really throughout the night. But for me, it comes down to, I look at my notes, it's all Walsh in the fourth quarter. The 2 offensive rebounds in a row. He intercepted a pass that they nearly turned into points the other way. The jump ball, which wasn't even clean, but whatever, they got it with Derek White diving on the floor. The layup from the crashing on the corner. Jordan Walsh did not have a great first half, and we sat here like, how much can they lean on him going into the second half when Ugo had been so good, and would they lean on the rookie a little bit more? And Walsh, who has been so good since elevating to that starting role, really only like one bad night against Minnesota, dusted himself off and had a fantastic finish to this game. The biggest revelation to me about what the Celtics are doing is the way Jordan Walsh has become an impact player, a guy who, after a night like tonight, should be a household name with his impact out there. And now, like, I'm just, for the long-term future of this team, it is such a good position to find guys that will be part of your core moving forward. And Jordan Walsh sure looks like one of those guys.
I mean, you see that stat line at the bottom of the screen there. And as you brought up, Chris, we discussed at halftime because he only played 7 minutes in that first half. What do you do in the second half with Ugo Gonzalez playing as well as he did? And Jordan Walsh in those clutch minutes there, Eddie, coming up with the 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of those offensive, and just seemingly was everywhere down the stretch.
Yeah, he was. Hustle plays, and then he made the right plays as well. He didn't turn the basketball over. When he got the ball in his hands, he was looking for guys to get the ball to so we could set up our offense. He never tried to do too much. He just did what he is supposed to do as far as what the team is asking him to do. And that's crash the glass, that's defend, that's block shots if you have to. And every once and again, they're going to throw you a bone. You're going to get that ball on the left side, and you're going to be able to attack off the dribble and score and get your layup and get some money in that way and show your athleticism and show that you are more than just the dirty work guy, that you are been working on your game. And you got to think how young he is still. So he has a lot of growth. And we've seen growth from last year to right now. And right now, we're actually seeing it game to game, especially being inserted in that starting lineup. We're seeing the growth of Jordan Walsh right now and the confidence that is oozing out of him because he believes, because the coaches believe in him.
Yeah, you see the growth.
Let's use his full name, please.
Now,
Michael Jordan Walsh.
From game 1 to game 21, I think we're still workshopping the nickname thing. Chris is throwing out his suggestion, but it was a phenomenal effort there from Jordan Walsh down the stretch, and he is standing by with Abby back at TD Garden.
Jordan, it was a playoff-like atmosphere in here, and the Knicks would not go away. What were you guys saying to each other, and how were you able to put this one away?
I mean, it started with, Josh and Hugo coming in and playing great minutes, playing defense, completely shutting the other guys down. It was amazing what they did tonight. It started with that, and then coming in, and everybody kind of like, that set the tone for everybody else. Come in and match that energy and keep it going.
You told me the other night in Cleveland, passion is required on the offensive boards. You had some huge ones tonight, especially in crunch time. Where does that come from for you?
I mean, it comes from the desire to win, the desire to want to see this team get to the highest level and maximum potential possible. Obviously, it's ingrained in me with this culture, with this atmosphere, with everybody who's all building me to make those type of plays and believes me to make those type of plays. That's the biggest difference.
You made them tonight. So did Jaylen Brown. What is it like being on the floor with him when he's on a heater like that, when he was in the second and third quarter?
about it's amazing is that he can't be stopped. Once he gets going, he can't be stopped, and it's our job to keep feeding it to him and keep giving him however many buckets he can, whatever he can do to keep that lead. And it's great what he did tonight, and he's been consistent with it, and we love to see it.
Finally, Jordan, this game very different than the one you guys played back in October in New York. What does that tell you about how far this team has come?
I feel like, a lot of teams, as the season goes on, there begins to be a drop-off. And I feel like with this team, instead of there being a drop-off, we're going to keep climbing, keep going up and building our chemistry together so that by the time the end of the season comes, we'll be in the right place, the right time, and be able to make a push.
I hope so. This was fun, Jordan. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Congrats.
All right, so we get Jordan Walsh and the Celtics getting this win over the Knicks, 123-117. And right out of the gates, it felt like New York was in control of this game. They had a 17-4 lead. They had a 14-point lead further along into the second quarter. And then you saw the Celtics kind of turn things, and it all started with Jaylen Brown, who, he just talked about right there. Jaylen Brown with 42 points. That's his season high. He had 35 points in the second and third quarters when the Celtics turned that 14-point deficit, Eddie, into at one point what was an 18-point lead.
And what more do you want to talk about with Jaylen Brown? We've been talking about him and knowing exactly what he's been. Look how efficient he is, 16 for 24 from the field. I mean, come on. I mean, you can't get any much better than that, especially when you have the ball in your hands as much as he does, and you have to not only navigate through pick and rolls and double teams and guys showing extra help and things like that, but you're still able to get guys off by having your 4 assists, getting your rebounds, still attacking, getting to your spot, scoring the basketball at will when you wanted to, and especially turn it on when we needed it. So, I mean, you can't say enough about JB. Like I said, man, worth every penny. People were doubting me. Why did they pay him all that money? Well, this is the reason why right here.
You see Jaylen Brown's eyes light up every time Jalen Brunson was in front of him. I think at one point it was 5 of 5 scoring over him. Like this is why when we have the discussion about the best players in the NBA, we have to remember it is a two-way sport. And Jaylen Brown brings it on the defensive end, and he can expose the best players on the other side with their defensive liabilities. And so I just love Jaylen's energy. It wasn't just, as Eddie said, it was everybody getting you to the finish line in that fourth quarter. But if you don't have what Jaylen does in the middle frames and keeping you afloat and then stretching out the lead, then this game gets away from you. And I don't know. It's like every night we just kind of, I don't want to ever take it for granted what Jaylen Brown is doing out there. And the fact that he's living above 30 points, then multiple 40-point games now. This doesn't happen everywhere. And it's super impressive what he's doing and the way he has embraced being the focal point and the efficiency that he is doing it.
And you brought up him, keeping them afloat. When the Celtics weren't knocking down the 3 ball, it was Jaylen Brown, attack. And they were extremely, bring up the word efficient, extremely efficient inside the arc, especially with their leading score. 123-117, Celtics 12-7. New York Knicks continue to falter on the road as they're now Celtics 12-9, Knicks 13-7. Quick on the season. Let's get to the turning point. Presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Turn it around. Take control. It's possible. The solution for weight loss. Reserve your consult at awaken180weightloss.com. This is the Celtics' 12-0 run to end the third quarter. Stretching a 6-point lead into an 18-point lead. Derek White finding Sam Hauser, the steal and the 3 on that end, and then coming off the long rebound, it's the other way. It's Sam Hauser with the steal, and it ends up finally at the end of the quarter with Derek White knocking down the 3. All part of a 12-0 run again for the Celtics to take that 18-point lead into the fourth quarter. Before the Knicks did get it down to 3, but again, the C's hang on for the 6-point win in this one. Now let's rewind it back and go back to the first half, because the guy that we were talking about probably the most at halftime, Chris, was Ugo Gonzalez, and his impact on the first half, when specifically the second quarter when he played all 12 minutes.
It was just, again, like I think this is his niche right now, is whenever the Celtics just are kind of limping through things, that they just need a little bit of a wake-up call, send in Ugo to do what he does. And from defending Towns to like flying around all over the place, sometimes he gets himself in trouble. He is a little bit of a gambler. But I like that he's just trying to make some chaos happen. He was on the offensive glass. He was a little bit everywhere as the Celtics finally found their footing, got back in this game. Again, sometimes a good contest without trying to foul was enough to fluster Towns when he came over with help. Going up against Brunson here and stripping him clean. Ugo did all the little things to get you back into this game. I would have thought for sure he was steamrolling towards the Tommy Award, but I'm telling you, like Ugo, the energy.